Hey guys, this is Marty Grasse, and today I'm going to talk about backgrounds. So you can see, if you've seen some of my videos, I have a bunch of different backgrounds. I'll actually walk around my studio and kind of show how they work. But I wanted to talk about just backgrounds in general are important. I'm sure you guys are having a bunch of Zoom meetings, and you'll probably notice the people who have good backgrounds and good lighting, the people who have bad backgrounds and background lighting. So you want to be one of those good people. Also, not just for Zoom meetings, but if you're going to do videos for your company, which you should always be doing, then this really matters. There's two reasons for that. One is that you always want to look professional. You're always representing your brand and your company, and that matters especially when it comes to video. Number two is brand consistency. So you'll hear me use that term a whole bunch, but basically it means that you always want to be repeating the elements of your brand so that people remember them and they recognize them every time they see them. So if you have consistent backgrounds, then that's going to reinforce the brand, especially if you have a YouTube channel or something that's scrollable. People start recognizing your background and they'll automatically know it's you, and that'll embed itself into their brain, and the next time they see it, they might be interested just because they know they've seen it before. So those are two major reasons to always have a good background. So I've seen a lot of news lately, and these newscasters have just shockingly bad backgrounds. They'll have like bad lighting on them, then they'll have a dark, ugly kitchen behind them, or they'll have a fan moving in the background, or they'll have a bunch of distracting stuff that makes it look terrible. So I'm gonna do some quick tips just to help you improve your backgrounds. So tip number one is, before, you don't wanna feature the background. The background is just the background. You wanna feature your subject, which in most cases in this type of video is you. So you can see with this video, I'm actually taking up most of the screen. I'm really in front of the screen. I'm like, 18 inches away from the screen, and that's how close you want to be. You want to fill the space because you're the subject. So if I was way back here, hey guys, it's Mark. It looks funny. I'm featuring the background. I don't want to feature the background. That's not why we're doing this. So feature you. Take up your spot, and you can see this is right at my sternum. This is how much space you should be taking up. So don't be afraid to get close to the camera. So that's tip number one. Tip number two is the background itself. Make sure it's clear-ish. I have some stuff going on back there, but it's interesting stuff. So I made this door and I painted it. It doesn't work very well, but it looks nice. And so it's a feature. People notice it. I have that big 0. There was supposed to be a 5 up there, but I got lazy, and I have plans to do in the future. And then I do work with a lot of fitness companies, so I do have some fitness stuff back there, a barbell and a mace and a club and a kettlebell. I'll sometimes have products in the background from clients just to feature that information. So I have some stuff going on. It's not a boring background, but it's not an overly intense background that's distracting from everything else I'm saying. So number one, don't be afraid to have some stuff in the background. Just have it be relevant to your brand. My brand is blue, so I have blue. I always wear black shirts, and there's a black wall in the background. It's all on purpose. So just do your background on purpose. If nothing else, have it be clear and have it be in the distance. A lot of people have like a map of the world directly behind them, and that's distracting too. So, have some distance between you and the background, and have something interesting, but not too interesting. And I would say 0 movement. You should have nothing moving in the background if you can help it. All right, number 3 is just lighting. There's 2 options for lighting. You could control the lighting, which is what I've done here, or you could just use a window, a natural light, which is, the easier, cheaper way to do it if you have a window available. So I'm gonna show you really quick my lighting setup. So if we look around, I'm not gonna edit this because I'm lazy right now. You could actually see the lighting setup. So you saw where I was sitting, and now you could see everything else. This camera's on a gimbal, so you might get some weird movement, but you get the idea. So I have one backlight, and then I have 2 45-degree angle lights, and that is how I am lighting my setup. Now, let's go ahead and do a natural lighting setup. So I have my setup back there. And now what I'm gonna do is go to this front window. So if I turn the camera, you can see I have that glowing window right there. And that's what I'm gonna use to light myself up. So now if I walk over here, there we go. You can see how the light changes. So this is good lighting. I'm lit up, there's nothing lit up in the back. I actually have no overhead lighting. and I'm just facing the window. So you can see it's a nice setup. Now if I switched it around, I see people do this where they stand with their back to the window. That looks terrible, so don't do that. Just face away from the window, and boom, you got killer lighting, and that's great. So, you know, in terms of background ideas, I have a bunch in my office just because we do this a lot. So you have this fake brick and ivy wall that we use for my wife's company. I have another brick wall, and this is, the bricks aren't actually real. They're these panels you can get from Home Depot for like 30 bucks. You know, you got interesting light, you know, interesting background here. I also have other panels in my little office right here. And so all of this ends up looking nice. You know, it's not distracting, but it's interesting. And so back here I have 2 black walls, and then I have a white fabric wall. And the white fabric wall is really good for photo lighting and whatnot. So there you have it. Those are some quick background tips. If you want more, go and subscribe. I'm gonna be doing lots of these videos because I'm trying to get all of my clients to make videos all the time. So stay tuned.